Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2, where last episode we started to grow New York City. We started to increase the amount of food being delivered, which has really pumped up its percentage number to increase the city growth, and now it's at a record high. As you can see, New York continually now growing. My goal is to get it over to the 1,500 mark in terms of city size. But I've got a lot of work to do. I've got to increase not only the food, but the machines as well. Try and increase the amount of public transport that can go to different destinations. And the big one that's really going to help me out is reducing the emissions to get rid of our negative effect, to thus increase even more. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a task. I've got to reconfigure a lot of this train line because there's so many trains now trying to get in and out of New York or completely through it that the train lines are going to start backing trains up, which means my food deliveries will take longer to get here, which will result in city growth being quite minimal. So we've got lots of things that we need to do. One of the big ones is removing the airport as well, which is going to be quite a big task. But if you are enjoying this, please make sure you smash the like button down below. And if you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when more episodes do come out. Now, this is not going to be an easy task to grow New York City with how we've currently got it all set up, but we are going to try our best. Now, I'm not too worried about the emissions just yet, because I can get rid of that very soon. I need to kind of change and configure how the trains run on the inside. Now, one of the big things I need to do is sort out what is going on here. Basically the problem is we've got too many trains trying to skedaddle through, and the issues only really lie around this kind of junction as it is. Reason for it is we have trains that come this way that kind of also want to crisscross to go up this way, which go on the underground bypassing route. Now, as of right now, I have an underpass route that goes through and pops up here. That's only for really one direction. I need one to kind of go under and pop up into there, thus eliminating this train here and other trains having to crisscross, causing backlogs for days. Now, that's just one of the issues. Another issue is we need more platforms in New York so I can unload and load a lot quicker than usual with multiple trains. So it's a bit of a pain, but we shall be able to get there. So first things first then, let's sort out this little bit of a bypass route. If I check out my route, you can see I've got two routes that come this way, the red and the orange, but the red and the orange here go this way, and then they have to kind of crisscross over. And that crisscross going that way is what I want to try and get rid of, and it should be fairly easy to do. So what we'll do then, we'll pick a space or an area in which we're going to kind of alleviate and move away from is the best way to put it. Now, if I go to just there and then just slightly bring this out here so I can then create a sweet little tunnel. And how can I now connect you in? So if I connect you in just there, it's not a problem. And all I want to do in terms of track constructions is build a tunnel, one track, reduce the length of it, and then we should be all good. We should be all good. So connect you directly in like that. That's all I need it to do. So then underground, we've just got to get this connected to this side of the platform here. Now, where can I run this from? How far can I run it underground? Ooh. So, is that a tunnel? It's not a tunnel, so to say, but it's going to run on my tunnel vibes here. So I'll delete you, and we'll come back to it in just a moment. So if I ran just to here with that, and then obviously that turned in just after the signal, which is perfect. And then we just need to get you connected all the way over to where we've got this, which is a little bit of a problem because we crisscross in many places, which is not ideal. So if I bring it out to there, still sticking it down so it's still a tunnel. Oh, the issue is, I know what the issue is right now, I can see it. It's remaining. It's trying to go through this, and it's a solid object building. Now, I can do that, but I don't know whether that is going to be a shortcut route. Let's find out. So, play mode. No, it's not a shortcut route whatsoever. So, we've got to make it a lot shorter than that. We've got to make it a lot shorter. So, if I delete from here and then delete back, So I'll delete just to there. Right, this should definitely ease the burden a lot more. Well, is it shorter? Ha ha! It now is. So that's now shorter, which means those two train lines there no longer have to crisscross over. We still got one of them doing it, but it comes from a different direction. I'm not too worried about that. But that really solves a lot of issues for us. It really does. So let me add a couple of signals in here real quick. Because we're most likely going to have multiple trains skedaddling down here. Like that. And that should save us a big headache. But we still got many, many headaches to come. We still got many, 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 many headaches to come. Now, I need multiple... Well, I say I need multiple platforms. I need a few more platforms in New York. One of the big ones is the one that's bringing the new food line in, which is line 28. As you can see, it shares the same platform with the passenger. Now, I want to get rid of it being on the same platform so I can really maximize the deliveries keep coming. So that train doesn't have to wait for that train to leave. It can just come in and out as it pleases. So it does mean I'm going to have to kind of configure the train station a little bit. So what we'll do, configure. Now the crazy thing is, right, I don't technically need it to be on a big platform. It can be on one platform. That's the good thing about it. So I could delete you, and you, just to give us a little bit of length to work with. And it does get a little bit difficult. And obviously we got to use these chunky platforms. But I'm not worried about that too much just yet. So if I bring you down like this and continue to bring you out, this is what we're going to try and connect to it. Now, obviously we've got issues here with the bridge and whatnot. We're going to, you know, switch up and change that all up. But that's the line we're going to try and utilize on it. And then in terms of cargo, yes, it's going to delete some of this. But for the greater good, this is going to be perfect. So that gives me an additional line to work with right now, with the cargo train coming in, which is quite exciting. Now, I don't think I'm able to run the train track as a tunnel through this. No, they won't allow me. I'm not that fortunate. I'm not that... Even if I connect it to this, maybe? No, I'm not that fortunate. So we're going to have to delete this bridge. I know there's a lot of deletings happening right now, and it's going to delete that one bus stop. But we'll come back to it in just a second. Now, another thing as well is trying to reduce the emissions coming in. So is it a case of I make it go straight into a tunnel? Now, straight into a tunnel means we're instantly getting rid of emissions, but I could apply the same logic to a lot of this. But then my issue is it's only going to be a short distance, so does it even matter at that point? I don't know. I don't know. So we're then gonna, and I'm gonna utilize this part of the train track there and go just to here, and then our track constructions, hoping that we can build another tunnel just here. Now, this is going to be the problem we're going to have, is trying to now crisscross applesauce U, which that can do it perfect. So I'm only doing it just to kind of keep it completely away and separate. Didn't need to, but I'm trying to reduce as many emissions as I can. So that's all good. So this will kind of turn off from there. So bringing this down to here, and then bending in. And well, we are going to need signals, and this is the tricky bit. If that's going that way, and this is what's going to make it not difficult but slightly awkward, it's only going to be one train utilizing this, but I'm hoping that I can get the right connection to do this, which works perfect. Now, it still doesn't make much sense, but this will all come clear in just a moment. It will all come clear. So I can't do any signals, which is the annoying bit. Okay. So I'm going to have to put a signal just there and leave it as that. I can't do any signals down here. But I could bulk it up. Do you know what? We'll bulk it up. Right, delete you. And we'll go as far as we can. So I actually can't go through here. Because now the way... Oh, no, I can. Okay, this is working out great. There. To there. Right, signal-wise, we're only coming into here. And obviously that will go there. And there. There. And obviously... Oh, that's going to be difficult. There we go. There. So that now allows you to do signals, which is great. Okay, but there's no line on it because we haven't told that line to go on it just yet. So edit this real quick. Line 28. Manage the line in New York. It's now going to go on platform 2. Which if I change the color of it so we can see it a little bit better, I'll change it to red. So you can see now it comes in and it then takes the other line. So goes that way, connects to all of this. Actually, let me change it to a different color so we can see. Let's go blue. So you can see the blue bit now merges with that and goes through. So it completely eliminates itself, that food line, from all of this junction and only connects in down here. So that should make life 10 times easier. 10 times easier for that food route to get in and out. And for the crisscrossing to happen to the other 2 routes. Now, before I press play, I gotta now configure and fix a lot of this stuff. But is it worth me maybe trying to implement a tunnel? Right, just shut the front door for a second. Let's shut the front door for a second. Let's reduce this as small as we can. I always forget to electrify and make it high-speed tracks. Right, the answer is going to be no. Not possible. I think it's not long enough. Construction still not possible. Why? Oh, what it might be. It might be because we got to stick out a little bit further. That's what it could be. I don't know. No. Okay, my idea is not going to work. So let's not worry too much because I'm pushing boundaries too far now. Right, let's keep it like that. Right, anyway, roads. So before I get back to play mode, I've got to sort these roads now all out. So you were going up and over. Or at least you were trying to go up and over. Right, fine. Buildings, the bus stop. We're now back in, so that solves that issue. And then we had an overpass over here as well. Now that overpass is since now gone. And we're going to make it a little bit easier for us. We'll do a little bit of a bend. So we want it to go like that, but obviously at this point here. Right, that's kind of now getting difficult. We bridge it up, so as high, the highest, lowest height I can go. There we go. So we now should be back in business. So play mode, we're now back in business. So that should ease the burden for a lot of the trains right now. So even the fact that I've made 2 now no longer crisscross, it means that the trains that do go now back and forth can flow and don't have to stop as often. That's the only train there that has to crisscross. That's the only train that now technically has to crisscross. I could even set that up where it merged itself over there anyway. I think there is also a... No, that's the only one. That is it. So obviously this train now is currently waiting. This is our Boston route. I'm assuming there was a train on the way down. Or something like that for it to wait. I'm not quite sure what that train is currently waiting for. Okay, now it's moving. Now it's moving. So that shouldn't have done anything in reality. You know what I mean? For New York, it shouldn't have really done anything. Apart from just make things a little bit more efficient and trains can slightly come a little bit more frequently. That's all that would have done. Okay, that's all that would have done. Now, in terms of food then, so now we're going to that new platform. Are we still producing enough food? So there's 170 currently on the platform right now, which 140 of that is going to get sucked up via that train. There's food in here with a big delivery on the way, so that looks all good as well. Production's at its maximum, so I know we can't really produce any more than what we're doing. So now then, we should hopefully get consistent deliveries coming in. And if they come a little bit more frequent, that number should slowly climb. But at the same time, in my back pocket, I could always get rid of a few cities off this food plant and deliver it to New York as well. So I think for that, we're okay. We're okay right now. So now it's a case then of, one, either removing the emissions or improving the machine runs. Now, I think we'll do the machine run first. I think we'll go for that. Now, we have this train here that delivers food and machine, but it's coming to this small, tiny little bit of a platform. I'm wondering if we should maybe bulk this platform up by one more. I know it gets rid of a few buildings, but they'll reposition themselves anyway. So, by that logic then, I can now maybe extend that train slightly a little bit more by one carriage. It depends on how much it picks up. How much does it pick up right now? Because there's not really a lot on its platform. So how much do you pick up right now? So, see, it doesn't really pick up a lot, because the demands from here is slightly a little bit lower. Now, what are these like? Oh, we got an issue. We've got an issue, baby. So the issue is here. What's the... Oh. Well, what's happened here? Trains mutually blocked. So this train is on people to Boston to Charlotte, Boston to Charlotte. Why is... Oh, for some reason, these guys are on the same route. So why did they not crisscross? Why did they not crisscross? So they crisscrossed there. Huh? Something's gone terribly wrong right now. Oh! That's what went wrong, Sadiak. As I choke. Right, there we go. It works, Sadiak, when you know, you've got train line on the go. Right, I have to turn that one round and take it slightly back. Whoopsie, I made an upsie. Anyway, are these getting enough goods? They are. That is as well, almost. So the problem is, we have other cities, consumers on these plants right now, which obviously are taking up the majority of the product. So some of the big consumers, New York is a big one, but Miami is also a big one as well. Now I'm thinking we probably get rid of some of these. So how about Washington DC, Savannah right now? Right, Savannah is... Where's Savannah? It's down just here, which obviously is taking on board food and stuff. But I'm thinking I delete that route. So manage the vehicles. We'll get rid of the vehicles for one. Right, and then I'll keep the line for when we want to pull it back all onto it. I'll keep the line for when we want to use it again. But with the elimination of that route, hopefully then it means New York gets a little bit more food. Granted, it also means it will distribute what Savannah had to other lines. And I could get rid of the Boston-Miami one. But I don't want to ruin, because if you if you stop supplying other cities, they'll start getting smaller, and it then technically goes negative to New York because then it's got less destinations to go to. Does that make sense? Kind of makes sense, right? Look at that right now. We are now at the highest target population we've ever seen for New York. Ooh-wee. Right, how's this train now doing? It's maxed out on the machines, so we've definitely got more machines on board. So I'm actually going to edit this and add a few more carriages or cargoes onto it. So if I add two more onto it, I want to see, because we're also limited to the size here. Which again, I can edit this, it's not a problem. But I want to see how much the wagons stick out at the very end. Right, in it comes. Come on, come on. So, that's exactly perfectly fine. If anything, you're going to throw another wagon on. Now, what we're saying over here then for the New York, definitely got more machines coming on board right now. Now, I'm not too worried about the food, because we're getting lots of food delivered anyway, but if I can slowly increase the amount of machines that get delivered, would be a godsend. But that's a slow progress. I know I can just turn off Miami and New York or reap all the benefits. So without growing the machines too much then, I think we should then tackle the emissions. Now the emissions is a bit of a tricky one because we're getting it from both angles. We're getting it from, one, the airplane. So if I put it on current, you can see where the issues are coming from. So airplanes are landing from this direction, which obviously give the whole of this area of New York huge amounts of pollution. And then they take off from that angle. But you're also getting pollution coming from the trains. Now, one way to reduce pollution from our current vehicles is obviously maintaining them. It's something that I have not done in the game whatsoever. So if I go to all and I select every single vehicle and then go to our configure maintenance for selected vehicles. Now, I've got loads of money in the bank, so I'm quite happy to literally put our maintenance at very high. So if I apply that, alright, I'm going to have a huge maintenance bill. But hopefully it maintains the vehicles to a degree that they start producing less pollution. I'm not sure if that's an actual thing or not. It's something that we're going to find out. But also, it's not as easy as me removing the airport to reduce the emissions. I can, but it will also have then a negative effect on New York for the fact that we no longer have as many connections to it. You know what I mean? So I think we, more than anything, need to slightly move it away a little bit and reposition it so the flight path is a little bit different. Now I reckon we use this peninsula here near Washington, but still get it connected to New York, so New York still reaps the benefits of its connections. Straight away, it's reduced our emissions down to 50%. So we've gained an extra 10%. Weirdly. I don't know whether that's because we're in between airplanes right now or whatnot. I don't know. But we got to get rid of this huge emission trail that it leaves behind. So we're going to be a little bit of a pain, but you can see the flight paths. Look at the ones that go directly over New York. That's where you're getting the majority of the pollution coming from. Huge. Huge. So what we'll do then, we'll now flatten, increase the brush size and the strength, and then we'll turn this into a big, huge peninsula that we can build an airport on. I'm not sure what this is called in real life. And we'll then build the airport. I'll set up a train line that brings people from New York down to here to make it like a small little commuter train, which will make life really, really handy and easy. I'll still set up vehicles as well. Now, how big's the airport? The airport is quite a chunky boy. So I'd rather go closer to Washington than New York itself. That's what we should do. And we got to position the airport in a certain direction so we can maximize the flight paths. So they don't go near as much, and they also don't fly over New York. Washington's going to take the hit for us. So, passenger airport, which is the passenger one. Cargo, passenger. There we go. So this is good then. So, if I had it like this, or do I have it this way round? I reckon we have it here. Like that. Now, of course, I got to configure it and add on the few additional bits and bobs. Now, second runway. There we go. So I'm going to get a train all hooked up to it. Yeah, I won't do... Oh, do I do vehicles? Because if I do vehicles, the vehicles spread through the city a lot more. So I think that might be the better option. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out right now. So, roads, bringing you directly down. And obviously, building-wise, we need a bus and tram stop. So, spinsies this all the way around as well. Now, streets, we might go for the... What's the speed limit on these? 37, 50, 62. We'll go for this one, which is a 50. So a little bit faster there for the vehicles. We could actually get it connected to that roundabout, but my buses come down this way anyway. There's nothing stopping me. Nothing stopping me whatsoever. But there we go. So that route, configure that bus route right now. We need to manage the line. And where they go to, it's called the New York NY Annex, which is this one here. Before we turn to Laurel Street, we then need to add first a station onto it. So it goes to Washington DC South. Now we'll keep it on that. We won't delete that just yet. We'll keep it on it for just a minute, but the airport's now in. So this is without me doing a train line. Because I feel like the bus stops are more greatly connected. So if I click on the route, you see where the bus stops are all connected, which connects the greater city up a bit more than just the train station. And we've now got to switch over all of our routes. So I think what will be a good idea as well is get more of the passenger terminals implemented. So I can have a passenger terminal for each flight, basically. And then there's only 4 over here as well. So manage this line. You can see where it flies over that line. So if I got rid of New York and then put, which is now classed as Washington, that yellow route, you can now see flies this way in and goes out that way. Nowhere near New York. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. So this one actually doesn't really go there anyway. But there's that slight little bend here which will cause pollution for these guys around. So manage the line. Obviously New York we delete. Now is it going to a different one? It's classed as Washington Airport now as well. Which it does. And you can see that route right now bends into here. Because the flight path now works. So we got another one here which flies over New York City. So delete you. Add station. Which should be using a new in Washington. Number 4. There we go. And there's only one flight path that now still goes over New York City. So manage this line. Delete New York. It's the one that goes to New Orleans. And we'll change this in Washington to number 3. So we've now got multiple. Now, no flight path goes over New York whatsoever. I'm just hoping it hasn't ruined our destinations. Even though we're still technically connected on that bus stop there, it's going to slightly reduce our destination. So it's like where we save with the emissions, like now we've reduced it by 20%, we don't want our destinations to drop by 20%. Because then it hasn't really worked out for us. So maybe this is where we need to think about... I don't know whether it's dropping because I've deleted it and then re-added it back on, you got to wait for the loops to continue. Or whether I do need to think about a train line. But that number is still reducing. Now, we've got to keep an eye on that. But at the same time, look at the emissions right now currently in New York. I couldn't ask for more, could I? I really couldn't ask for more. It might even drop to 30%, I don't know. It depends on the trains. It all depends on the trains. But I'm not liking that destination number dropping though. It's dropping quite considerably. It could be a case I just got to wait for them to do a few circulations of the route for me to fully understand what's going down. It's all it could be. But also, connecting that road as well is giving us an extra 10% in private transport destinations. So we've gained there. Oh, 30% it's now down to. Let's go. Let's go. My destinations have definitely dropped. I've lost 150. So, do I risk it for the biscuit and just throw in a small little commuter train? Because the other problem I've got then if I do that is, where do I then run it into? I mean, I could run it into this, which is not a problem. Chicago to Boston. Wait, what is that train? Oh, it also stops here as well. Okay, right, made sense. Now, technically, I have no trains bypassing New York, so there's nothing stopping me by implementing a random passenger stop there. Nothing stopping me from doing that. Right, how bad is this now getting? How bad is it now getting? Is it still dropping? It's still dropping. I think what we'll do, we'll see where it plateaus out. But I'm definitely gonna lose close to 300 potential destinations. Yikes. Anyway, we'll delete this. It's now a goner. And I can delete this. Now it does mess up that route. So we manage the line. So that New York annex there, we're going to delete you. You no longer exist. La-di-da-di-da. There we go. Problem solved. Problems now solved. That's dropping quite considerably. I don't like that. I don't like the thought of that dropping so much. Right, you know what? We're going to do it. Now, this goes against everything that I've ever done before in this game. But sometimes you've got to be a madman. Sometimes you've got to be a madman. I'm deleting the bypassing route. And then platform-wise, a passenger platform. This will all make sense in just a moment. This will all make sense in just a moment. Add you in so people can pass a lot easier. There we go. Right, is that number still dropping? Oh, no, is it going up? Okay, it's starting to go back up again. 20% we're now down to. Holy smokes. We've reduced those emissions. Okay. Okay. So, buildings-wise, I need a small little passenger one right now. I'm going to go for a small... It's only going to be a small little commuter train. Right, which side am I putting it on? Here is perfectly fine. No, I don't mind it having to run through the roads. I don't mind too much. Now, we need it to get connected to here. So I'm going to bend that out. And bend you out. Now, it's only one train on it. So it just needs to go like this. But I'm going to set the signals up like that. And, right, this signal is going to be an issue just there. And then that one just there. Right, that should work out. So a new line from here to here, which it should stop. Not on that platform. On number 3. Which you can't see it, so I'll make it go red. So you can now see how that works. It's not perfect. I think I might have jumped the gun a little bit too soon. I think we've dropped it because we deleted it, but now we're gaining back up again. But I'll still implement a commuter train none the least. Now, what's the best idea for here? I need to kind of get a... Too much curvature on that bend. How can I, So how is that possible to get this to connect to where I want it to go? I wonder if this is a thing. Right, watch this. Watch this. Okay, it's not. I ain't got enough space. Let me do it further down. This will be quite fun. Watch this. Right, let me delete this. Right, this is the idea. To create a little loop coming back out. So a train that comes out could go round there and then back down. I thought it was quite fun. Just, you know, just humour me, okay? Humour me. So... I don't need the train to be huge. And it will lose money. So... let's just go for this one. So buy it for my latest line, which will be line 30. Now, does it use this loop? That's what I'm more interested about. I think I'm more excited to see it potentially use this loop than anything else. You ready for this? You have to laugh, don't you? You gotta laugh. This is quite fun. I don't know how it's managing to do that bend though. It seems quite a tight bend. Okay, that was pretty cool. Right, I'm humoured. I've been humoured. Right, anyway. How are we getting on? How are we getting on? So we need to ramp up then, soon, our food and machines. But look at our destinations right now. I mean, our destination, sorry. Our potential target. 1,440. We are so close. So close right now. Now, we need a lot more vehicles on this bus route because the buses are not coming as frequent anymore. So I'll clone 2 more. This train station is a lot on. Are they being picked up? This Boston route. That's a Boston one right there. Let's just pick a load of people up. The train will be on its way back anyway. I think we're just awkwardly between stations at the moment. But we've got the commuter train going back and forth down here as well. So that's glorious. You get the best of both worlds with this train station. You get the best of both worlds. So I can't believe we brought the emissions down to 10%. That's crazy. So a little bit of a percentage boost right now on the supply machines would be great for us. So who else have we got coming in right now? So economy machines is New York, obviously. Miami's the big one. I could take it all off from Miami. I'm going to do it. I've done it. So hopefully the New York one would reap the benefits. Which is definitely a lot more machines now on there. It's what happens on the next run. As they now start producing. That needs more wheat. Wheat's about to come in. We'll see what happens there, and we should definitely be able to up those numbers. So 380% is what we got our current percentage to. That's a Boston-Charlotte train. I might need an additional Boston-Charlotte train. I might need an additional Boston-Charlotte train. Right, what's on this platform now then for New York? Lots of food, lots of steel there. Still producing. So not as much food because we haven't produced enough. But the machines are increasing. That's important. Train is back again. So not really maxed out just yet then. But we'll take it. We still got a high consumer for New York, but it just won't produce as quick as we need it to. As quick as it once did for... Oh, okay. It is producing quick right now. Not as quick as it did for Miami, but then again, the gaps between deliveries on Miami meant that there could be a lot more on the terminal waiting on the station, on the platform. But we're up, those machine numbers should definitely slowly start to increase. Round it up to 150 is what we've currently got. Let's round it up to 150. So we still got a lot here, right? Yep. Big amount of food about to be delivered. Still waiting. So that's going to be over 50 by the time that next train gets here, which is now on the way. I don't think it will push to 60, but this might be the most machines it's delivered in one go so far. The machine numbers are definitely increasing, and that's exactly what we need it to do. 60. Wow. Okay, it's increasing, boys. It's definitely increasing. What does it finally walk away with, then? In terms of machines? 67. Right, definitely increasing those numbers. Definitely an increase in those numbers right now. So we'll see what goes down with that. We're also going to see a few machines being planted over here as well, which is interesting. So, wait for that machine, that train to now come in. Has it left? It has left. So, not saying we're going to see an instant boost in numbers, but I ran this to 150 on the last delivery. It should be above 150 now. So 160, 170. Look at that. And hopefully this just slowly keeps increasing. Oh, 319 percentages. Our target population is 30 off. Doesn't mean we grow to that, because obviously it is a little bit difficult for the city to grow to that kind of level. Because you need more road networks and stuff in. And it would be handy to, you know, smoothen some areas off to make it, the building kind of aspect of it, a little bit better. So we can only do our best to encourage city growth. That's all we can really do. Smoothing all the lands. Which you can already see, start to see a few buildings taking advantage of it. So our population now is 100% increasing. Smoothing these areas off, give them suitable building options. There we go. Is that water there? Wow. Weirdly, that road is below the water level. That's really weird, isn't it? It really is. So look at our charts right now. New York has never been so big. It's never been... Oh, our target population's at 1,500. Oh my goodness me. Our machine's up to 200 right now. We just gotta let the city grow to those levels. It would be really difficult to get it to that maxed out level. Or we've come back down a bit. Yo, emissions is 10%. I'm loving this. Right, we should definitely get more machines right now. Are we getting to the point where we're not able to pick up all the machines? Let's see what this delivery now says. Incoming. So no, not quite. Not quite needing an additional carriage just yet. But holy moly. We are growing, boys. I can't believe how much we've grown New York. So that next machine delivery, where the train should be popping out in just a moment. Should take us in hopefully up to 50%. Hopefully it starts getting us a little bit closer to 50%. We've got a food delivery just come in. That ups that 70% there, so we're back up to 400. Can we get 410? Is it possible? With a little bit of a delivery? Not quite, because you dropped back down again. But we just got to get that city growing as close to our target population as much as we can. So the machine number is definitely increasing, as you can see. 100% is. It might be a case of where we need to think about delivering to additional areas with the machines and whatnot. Are we still backlogged with buses? Yeah, let's manage these vehicles. So this is like counterintuitive right now, because I've got to add more buses, which does increase the emissions. But hopefully we can keep on top of it. At the same time, we probably do need a few more vehicles here. So I'm going to get 2 more of the trucks on the line 20. Line 21, get 2 more on here. More frequent deliveries. 1,416 we're now up to. Redonkulous. So, doing stuff like building roads, or helping the building of the roads, can slightly benefit us with a population boost. Because we can get a few little buildings along here, if they really want to. And get the odd road in here connected. See the buildings I'm building either side. Obviously, it does move the buildings that I am deleting. But it's giving the city a few more options, a few more alternatives. So half the time, you just kind of have to aid the city in growth. Right, try and get connected to the edge of that building. Just going to aid the city in growth. Bit of a pain, but we'll slowly get there. So more vehicles coming in, more vehicles loading up. That's what we want to see. More movement on the go. 1424. Look at that. 410 plus there for a second. 410 there plus for a second. So, look at that. It's been a long time since we said that. It wasn't until back then. Holy smokes. I reckon next episode, New York will be 1,500 in city size. There's still a lot of tweaking that we need to do. I won't be able to get the emissions any lower. No way in this world can I get the emissions any lower. But this is glorious. These are still producing like crazy. But this is absolutely... I can't believe how well we've actually done. New York. So if I can get the machines and the food up a bit more to add a few more percentages, it will boost it even better. That's the only thing really now I can utilize. I've lost a lot of destinations. And I think it could be... We're no longer supplying like places like Miami. So they're now going to start seeing a little bit of a decline because they're no longer getting the machines and their food supply. Which then reduces the amount of destinations that we've got for New York in general. But as long as if we can keep it around 200%, I'll be happy. Just going to up these two figures here, which are very easily able to do. I just got to get more deliveries coming in constantly. So, not bad. Not bad. We've still got plenty of work to do. This train, for the first time ever, is leaving a few machines on the terminal. Which means I'll edit it and throw an extra wagon on. So there's always room for that little bit extra. There's always room for that little bit extra. 1436, boys. We're still growing. Still growing. So you got to remember, some of our product gets delivered here, so it doesn't get delivered directly to the city just yet. And you guys wait for a few vehicles to deliver them. We might need another run on that Boston one, but we'll just kind of see for now. Still growing in the charts, which is perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. 1438. Brings a tear to your eye, doesn't it, guys? It does bring a tear to your eye. Right, the machine train is coming in right now. Which is completely maxed out. I've never seen it this maxed out before. So it delivers them all off. Numbers slightly increased. 50%. 410 we're back up to. It does throw a couple over here, but not too many. Not too many right now. And off it skedaddles again. 1439. It's really slowly increasing. But deliver more machines and more food. Machines will be the easiest one. We're winning. We will be winning. Look at that, 75. It's about to have over 80 for the next delivery. There's going to be more machines and food on this train than the previous one. It just shows you the slow growth that we're now seeing. 90! Oh dear God! 1441. It's a slow antagonizing growth. Oh, 20%. 20% emissions, baby. See, I knew we'll see those problems coming back. Back down to 10%. We're all good. Right, that train is now scheduling in. I just want to see this for the final time today. And our numbers all increasing. For the final time today, let's see how much it now delivers back in. There's so much food over there needs to be distributed with the trucks as well. So in it comes 220 that we're now at. Was that 150 at one point? Remember that? Delivers it all in. 240, 250. Beautiful. Look at that. Target population 1530. Let's keep it coming. So charts are still exploding, still booming. And we'll see how this looks next episode, guys. We've kind of left it on a nice little cliffhanger now, because we know we're going to get there. But we just need to require a few more little tweaks to get there. Let's go. Until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.